Siberius, and we about to get serious. It's the real Siberius, making fanboys furious.
Hello, YouTube, and welcome to The Real Siberius. On this episode, I want to talk about former NBA players are stupid. And apparently it's contagious because it's spreading. Every former NBA player seems to be waiting in the wings for their chance to go on a podcast and spread their idiocy. Dwight Howard says Scottie Pippen couldn't guard LeBron. Really? Steve Kerr could guard LeBron, and Kerr was a liability on defense. Why could he guard him? Because LeBron doesn't have a bag. And if the game was actually called fairly, LeBron would foul out in the first quarter. However, under today's rules, LeBron could just push the ref around and nothing would happen to him. Carmelo Anthony says LeBron could lead the league in scoring if he wanted to. Give me a fucking break. If he wanted to, he still couldn't, even in this weak, soft era. And in reality, if you're saying he's not doing it because he doesn't want to, that's actually worse. Because it means he doesn't care. It means he doesn't care about his team. It means he doesn't care about winning. And given that all he cares about is stats and accolades, he absolutely would if he could. But he can't. Because he doesn't have enough skill to do it even in this era without defense. Isaiah Thomas saying that Pippen was better than Jordan. Paul Pierce saying Jordan didn't have a bag. It just never seems to end. What they all fail to realize is people have been trying to dismantle and destroy Jordan's legacy for decades. And you can't. Because it isn't fake. It isn't manufactured. His game didn't have weaknesses. They've now played for decades in an easier era with very little to no defense, and they still can't beat what Jordan did in a more difficult era with actual defense under harsher conditions with less help. They just need to give up. I don't understand what the hell they're talking about. It's like they don't realize that people watch basketball. It's like they forget that these games are recorded or that people actually watch the games because they're acting like we didn't see it. I think they call it gaslighting when they're lying to you and trying to make you think that you didn't see what you saw or hear what you heard. I don't know what they're talking about. Especially if we're talking about when Jordan played, because not only did I watch a lot of games, I watched almost every game that I could. So I know what happened. I'm not misremembering. You're flat out lying. That's what's happening. I actually had an epiphany last night. The modern NBA is like playing NBA 2K on Rookie and then bragging about your stats. The NBA in the 90s was like NBA 2K on Hall of Fame. And yet there are people out there trying to say that those playing on Rookie are more skilled and their accolades are more impressive than the people that played on Hall of Fame? Are you kidding me? Being the all-time leading scorer on Rookie is just that. It's nothing to brag about. It's an inevitability. It's not an accomplishment. I decided I'm going to start a new season on NBA 2K. I'm going to play 23 seasons on Rookie, and then I'm going to post my stats on LeBron's Twitter and say, I'm the greatest scorer of all time. Because it's basically the same thing. And I'm sure his fanboys will get butthurt. And quite frankly, that'll just bring me joy. Because their idiocy just makes me laugh. when they cry and get all in their emotions, it makes me laugh. When they try to come at me and talk about, you don't know the game and you don't know what you're talking about and you're a hater, you're absolutely right. I am a hater because I hate LeBron and I hate all of you. However, I don't lose sleep over any of this shit. I don't care about any of it at all. And yet I'm sure some of you think, well, then why do you have a channel about basketball? Because I like basketball. This just isn't basketball. This is a really bad parody of a game that I used to love. It's not even a good parody. It's laughable now. When I look at most of the channels that I watch, they're not talking about the game because who cares about the game? It's not interesting. There's no challenge to overcome. They're always talking about the antics. A lot of channels are talking about the fact that LeBron pushed the ref and there were no consequences. Of course there aren't. Why would there be? Every single time he plays the game, there are egregious offensive fouls, travels, carries, double dribbles. He's always doing something wrong. It's a double standard. They have to protect him because if they didn't, like I said, he would foul out in the first quarter. They had to carry him and lie for him to have a 10-point record. They had to exclude playoffs because if they included playoffs, he doesn't have a record that lasts over a decade. It would last, 4 years? If that? Because they say the record started in 2007 and it was in 2011 that he scored 6 points or 8 points or I don't know, whatever fucking embarrassment it was. But they had to negate that because if they don't protect him, he's shown for the embarrassment that he actually is. What I would love to happen, and I don't know, YouTube may flag this for condoning violence or whatever, and fuck them if they do. Somebody needs to punch him in the face. That's what needs to happen. I just want one player to be so sick and tired of his shit that they give him a forearm shiver right to the bridge of his nose and actually knock his ass down. Be like, now you're not flopping, you're actually fucking hurt. There's a concussion for you. Get up. And then I want him to kick him when he's down. I normally don't condone violence, but for decades, this jackass has ruined the game that I love. I can't even say they've tried everything else because they haven't tried anything. They keep claiming to say, oh, we're going to, start cracking down on flopping, or we're going to make sure, to call things more fairly. No, you're not. And the reason why you won't is because you have to protect LeBron. One game. That's all that I ask. Call one game 100% fair according to the rule book, and let's see how well he does. He does not know how to dribble without carrying or traveling. Especially now, after 23 years of the NBA just being able to say, it doesn't count, we're not calling that. He literally does not know how anymore. And it's because his game isn't based off of sound fundamentals. It's based off being pampered. One game. Offensive fouls, technicals, travels, carries. I don't even think he'd make it the entire first quarter. Anyway, that's not what this video intended to be about. But the fact that he did what he did to a ref and didn't get ejected from the game is just proof that there is a double standard. I mean, there always has been. But it's actual evidence that the NBA says the rules do not apply to him. And fuck that. And then you're going to call him the greatest of all time when he hasn't played by the rules in 23 years? That's disgusting. It's disgusting. If you're a fanboy and you can justify his actions in your mind in some way, you need fucking help. You need to go see a therapist or a psychiatrist or something, because there's something wrong with you. There's absolutely something wrong with him. And because he's a billionaire, people just don't give a shit. I do. And I hold people accountable. I hold myself accountable. But these absolutely egregious behavior is unacceptable. And the reason why it runs so rampant in our society, because there is no accountability and there are no consequences. We used to police our own. Fuck around and find out. That's what it used to be. You run your mouth, you may get punched in the face. You say or do something you're not supposed to do, you may get punched in the face. We need to bring that back. I don't understand what's happened. But people do abhorrent things in public all the time, and no one cares. They do it in sports of all kinds. They do it in football, basketball, baseball. Blatantly cheating the game, no one cares. In fact, people leap to the defense of these individuals. They make excuses for them. What does that say about us as a society, as humanity? We just don't care anymore? Is that what it comes down to? Do whatever the hell you want. The outcome is what matters. How you do it doesn't matter. That's not the way that I live my life. Context matters. Accountability matters. Integrity matters. And I think if you don't believe in these core basic human principles, I don't think you should be allowed to be a part of society. It's that simple. I don't know where decency went. I don't know where class went. I don't know where sportsmanship went. But they seem to be dead. I know I went off on a bit of a rant there, but the reality is, every time I look at sports media, I just get pissed off. I just remember I used to be inspired by it. I used to be encouraged. I used to be uplifted. I don't know where that went, but it's gone. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you made it to the end, I certainly appreciate it. As always, I want to give a shout out to the content creators that continue to inspire me to do this. Uncommon Sense, Angry Old Hoops, Self-Researched NBA Facts, 93Z, Sports and Fitness Rants, Uncut Hoops, Scap Attack, Speam Engine, In Your Face Hoops, Eddie TV, King Speech Row, Goatcast Hoops. I always appreciate your guys' takes, your perspectives, and your humor. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.